At the age of 48, I had a mild discomfort in my chest that just wouldn't go away. But suffice to say, by the time I reached 49, I had to have 3 stents put in as an emergency procedure. The cardiologist said to me pretty much as soon as he'd started the procedure, he says, "Do you know how lucky you are?" I said, "Well, I'm Irish, we're rumoured to have a bit of luck." And he said, "No, seriously, you should be dead." I said, "What?" Almost like, "What?" He said, "Your right coronary artery is 99% blocked." And I'm like going, how do you take that in, right? So he said, the people who drop dead on a golf course and nobody knows why, that should have been you. You're very lucky. He said, fortunately, I can do something about it. And he put 3 long stents in there and then. As he put the third one in, the pain stopped. So that was my first sort of major understanding. And I think one of the key things that I would say to people is it's really, really important to listen to your body. Nobody knows you better than yourself. I'm a pretty upbeat, optimistic, accentuate the positive kind of person. I got to say, there's been days and months where, I haven't felt like myself. And, there have been times where it's been difficult to get out of bed and be motivated to do anything. My kids give me this term, mental load. And the mental load of carrying this around ultimately is a hell of a burden to carry around. And with a little bit of distance now, I realized just how big a load that was. If you're just diagnosed or recently diagnosed with elevated Lp(a), I think one, be grateful that you've had it identified, because that's a really good thing. That's the start of a journey. It's not being diagnosed that's the nasty bit. It's better to be informed, because regrettably, you're going to know more than most of the medical people that you meet. And actually you need to, in order to be able to advocate for yourself. High Lp(a) is currently considered to be an ultra rare disease. We know it's not ultra rare, it's just not tested for. It's got very low to zero public awareness. It is actually fairly prevalent across the world population, and there are some population groups that are more at risk than others. But it's not well known about. And the issue, I was fortunate enough, and I guess proactive enough, to get involved in some patient advocacy, because, I recognized that support wasn't there and I couldn't find what I wanted to know. So being the busybody that I am, I suppose, I wanted to get in amongst it and try and do something about it. But in Ireland, where my bloodline relatives are, there is no testing. There are no labs which test for Lp(a). Even now, to the best of my knowledge, there is no apheresis unit in the whole island of Ireland. So the only viable treatment, management of the condition isn't available. So what's the point in being tested, is kind of the mentality for a lot of the medical practitioners. But to me, the sort of changes that we have in the world very often are a frame of mind. And for me, all I want to do is be able to accept this as my normal and be comfortable with that. As Lp(a) only needs to really be measured once in your life, I don't see any reason why it couldn't be done as part of a standard heel prick test that babies have anyway. And ultimately there may be some clever evolution of, similar to a diabetes test, where you can just put a drop of blood on it and determine, is it elevated or not? All of these things should be possible. So I think if you've got a history of premature coronary disease or stroke related illnesses within your family, try and get your lipoprotein little a checked out if you can. And you may need to educate those that you ask first why you want it.